Hey, it's King McKay. We just got episode 1 of season 7, and it was absolutely, so amazing. So much stuff I want to talk about. But for now, we're going to go through the preview for episode 2 of season 7, and all the awesome things that we look forward to next week. Let's get into it.
A Targaryen cannot be trusted.
Now, as fans, most of us have always liked Jon and Dany. Those characters have always been really good guys, going for awesome values and protection, but they're not necessarily allies in any way, shape, or form. Jon is the bastard son of Ned, who betrayed the Targaryens and was the second main person in the whole rebellion that destroyed her entire family and the Targaryen dynasty. So the discussion of whether they should actually side with Dany, side with the Targaryens, is a very big one, considering the Vale, the North, were both the main forces that have fought the Targaryens in Robert's rebellion, and getting over their grudge will be very hard. He's already trying to push them on too many fronts. He has to convince them about the White Walkers in the north, the Wildlings, a bastard being able to become king, not to fight Cersei, and now to join Dany and help a Targaryen. Now, the reason I think Jon will be all for it is because he really doesn't care who your banner is and who you are, as long as you have an army and you're willing to fight the Night King. But for the rest of the lords, it's going to be one big sell. So we should be expecting another huge test on Jon Snow's leadership as a king this episode, like we saw in episode 1. And we'll begin to get an idea whether he's kind of ruler that Robb was, or he'll be a little bit more Sansa Rush.
The Mad King's daughters will destroy the realm.
We have an army, a fleet, and 3 dragons. We should hit King's Landing now.
So we're seeing Jon getting counselled and making decisions and preparing the defences for the north and everything like that. And now we see that Cersei is running her court, making very nationalistic claims like Dany is going to destroy this realm, she's an outsider, just like a lot of us predicted. Dany's gathering on her council and beginning her war plans. So for the beginning of this episode, there's going to be a lot of planning and setup like we saw in episode 1. And then shit's going to hit the fan, and there's going to be so much awesome shit. First, I expect that Cersei will begin her offensive campaign to destroy the Tyrells first, while leaving the Greyjoys and Euron to deal with Dany in the meantime. And this night shot of Euron's fleet and silence right here makes me think of a very big spoiler we know is happening this season. If you don't want to hear about it, skip a little bit ahead. The attack on Dany's fleet and the capture of Yara and the Dornish. We know it happens at night, we know Euron's out to get some gifts for Cersei so he can get that marriage proposal. What a better time than now. We can already see that Yara is pushing heavily for an offensive attack of King's Landing. She's going to be rushing, she wants to go headlong and take out the head of the snake, which is not a bad idea. But I feel like a lot of the council will disagree with this course of action, like Varys and Tyrion, who want to take more slow approaches, gain support, take areas and not rush headlong into battle like Stannis, and lose the campaign before it's even started. Now this may lead to Yara kind of acting out of turn with the Dornish, who are both pretty rash kind of people who are willing to do things on the spur of the moment. And if they don't know anything about the Greyjoy fleet, they could go in by themselves without Dany's permission or any kind of that stuff, look to attack King's Landing, not expecting any fight, and boom, Euron swoops in and takes them out. That could be the very first setback. We know that Dany's going to have for her invasion because things look way too up at the moment. She's got a huge Dothraki army, slave fighters, Dorne, half the Greyjoy fleet, as well as all the Tyrell forces, so she has to have some setbacks, otherwise it's just going to be win, 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 and that's not how Game of Thrones works. Okay, so that's a lot. We're going to go through each of these little snippets one by one, break down what's actually happening in them, and then we'll talk about any of the significant ones and what that means for episode 2. So first off, we have a whole bunch of Stark horsemen coming through the gate into Winterfell or Eastwatch. Not that significant. But the next one is what could be NYMERIA. Oh my god. NYMERIA is something I really wanted to see this season. And if we can get it episode 2, that'd be amazing. Personally, I don't think this is actually Arya reuniting with NYMERIA. They're just trying to splice it up here to make it look like they're going to unite, but it will introduce her into the story, so we may get that reuniting scene later on in the season, but probably not in episode 2. But if we did, I'd go fucking nuts. So NYMERIA fans, this one's for you. Next we get a shot of what could be NYMERIA or Tahine Sand on a Dornish ship. This could be during a boarding battle between the Greyjoy fleets that Euron controls and the Dornish Greyjoy fleets that Dany has. But either way, she looks pretty feisty. Then we get another shot of Sansa looking very precarious. Clearly she's given up the queenship to Jon pretty easily in the beginning, but now that she can't make the decisions anymore, she may be regretting that decision a little bit. Now we know that Littlefinger noticed this in the last episode, so he will try to use this to kind of wedge his way through, but it seems from the interaction between her and Littlefinger that she's beginning to get onto his game and kind of bat him off a lot easier than it used to be before. He didn't even get his full like crazy monologue on this time. Then we get that shot we've seen 1,000 times of Ilaria and Yara kissing on a boat, and a shot here of Varys counseling Dany privately. Now this could be a little kind of conflict we see, or a competition we see between some of the other counselors like the Dornish and the Tyrells and Yara want to attack and kill Cersei as quick as possible. Tyrion and Varys will probably want to try and make it more subtle and make sure the invasion succeeds, not just get revenge straight away. Then we get the better shot of a scene we saw in the trailer where Jon Snow is choking Littlefinger, so we'll get that next episode, which will be really cool. They're definitely making the whole entire relationship between Jon and Sansa be this really witty, cool comeback kind of way, with Littlefinger trying to weave his way in the middle, and I wonder how that's going to turn out for him. If you want to know, watch this video here, because I clearly state what's going to happen. So that's what episode 2 of season 6 is going to look like. It's going to be a whole bunch of counseling, interactions, and plans, people trying to sort out the best ways to go into a huge battle that's about to amp up. Will these battles succeed? Will the fighting begin? Probably because the trailers show us it. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to be doing one of these for every single preview all the way to the end of the season, so make sure to subscribe to get it all. Otherwise you'll miss out and you won't get this awesome information or stuff like that. So subscribe. Thank you.
Hey, it's King McKay.